Antolo.
When you're planning a wedding, there are lots of details to figure out. Two important ones, your hair and makeup. Who's going to do it? What look are you going to go for?
Erin Infantino from Simply Gorgeous by Erin in Southington is here to break down what you need to look for when it comes to choosing your wedding hair and makeup. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, we're happy to have you here. You do a lot of weddings, right?
We do. We do well over 100 weddings a year, but we still keep it nice and intimate and very personalized.
So I think it's good. You've got a list for us, which I hadn't really thought about some of these tips. Yeah. So we're going to go through them. So as people are choosing, they can really be informed. The first one, you say, first examine makeup and hair techniques, because not everyone can do them?
Well, you know, everyone has their specialty. So there's makeup artists that specialize in certain looks. There's hairstylists that perhaps they're fabulous colorists or amazing cutters. So you want someone that actually knows how to do bridal styling, special event styling, because that hair and that makeup needs to last essentially 24 hours. You start getting ready really early in the morning, it needs to last all day, all evening. We've had plenty of brides say, hey, I woke up and I wore this look to my bridal brunch. It's great. I mean, it's good to wash your face, but, you know, if that works for one day, sure.
Just one day.
Yeah, no matter where you go, make sure that they are accustomed to, you know, longevity, making sure that the hair and makeup last.
Okay. And you kind of want to get your dress first, right? Because even though you may be attracted to certain looks, it's really going to depend on the overall.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to set, your dress is going to set the vibe. It's going to set the tone, obviously your venue as well. But even like the back of the dress, maybe if you have an amazing back, you don't want to wear all that luxurious hair down. It's gorgeous, but you want to show off that dress that you spent so much money on. So yeah, that helps determine it.
All right, and then you might always think this. You look at everyone's Instagram pictures, you're like, I want that, but go with someone you click with.
Yes, yes. So obviously what first attracts someone is kind of like the love at first sight thing. You know, you see their work, you're like, I love that hairstyle, I love that makeup, that's gorgeous. So contact them, but then set up either an in-person meeting or a phone call. A lot of people are really busy nowadays, so I think a lot of people have gone to phone calls when it comes for their hair and makeup team. So speak with them, and it helps you get an idea, like, how does this team work? You know, do they have a good personality? Are they kind of like a wet blanket? Or, you know, they have to click with you, because there's, as they say, a lid for every pot, right? So jive with them. They're the first vendors that show up that day. We set the tone. If we're sourpuss or don't know what we're doing,
and you're with them all day.
Yeah,
you don't want that energy.
That's going to turn that day off at a rough start if you don't have the right team. Like them, sip mimosas and enjoy, you know, them pampering you.
Yeah. Time to renew our vows.
In the works. Do that too.
And you say also consider, you know, have they worked with the other vendors that you may be working with, like your photographer and others, right?
Now, that's not necessary. It's not like, oh, if they haven't worked with you, then forget it. Absolutely not, because there's a lot of new vendors coming out all the time, and there's a lot of talent. So you don't want to skip over that. But what you can ask is, you know, your photographer, because typically you'll book your venue, and then your photographer look the dress, and then the hair and makeup is something that comes along at that time as well. So ask your photographer, have you worked with them? Or ask your artist, have you worked with my photographer or venue or what have? Because hair and makeup is insurance for the photos, the videos that you invest so much money in. And you also need to know how those things photograph well, with flash photography especially, which most of them are going to start getting into as the evening goes on and the natural daylight goes away. So all those things are really important. And it's nice, too, if you have everyone that works, you know, cohesively, for sure.
Everyone wants a deal, but should you book on just price?
No. Don't book on just price. That being said, everyone has a budget. Of course, you know, if I could hire, you know, Britt Sullivan or someone for my wedding day, awesome. But she's probably going to cost way more than what I even make in a year. So I understand there are budgets, but try not to make that the only deciding factor, because really when you think about 10 years from now, when you're looking at photos and it still looks timeless, it's really beautiful, you're probably not going to care that you spent $200 more than someone else that was just mediocre hair and makeup, but you didn't, like, fall in love with it, and it was a little bit less. You know, so don't make that the deciding factor. You know, kind of make that like, can I make this work, or is it going to make me like, I can't afford my florals or something, because those are equally important too. So decide what your important keys are, and you know, prioritize, I guess.
And you say don't sleep on it too long, because the good ones get booked. Too long.
That's right. The good ones book up anywhere from 2 years to even like 8 months in advance. So if you love them, have that conversation. Look at the contract. You should always have a contract.
You said don't book if they don't have a contract.
I would not. I would never, because a contract is mutually beneficial. That means both parties are protected. If they're not signing something, sending you something to sign, then what's holding them to it legally? Do you want them to not show up on the day of your wedding?
Yeah.
It shows that they have a process, that they're experienced, that they're professional, and they're a real business.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a really good
your wedding
point.
day is not the day to gamble things at all.
Yeah, great point.
All right, well, here is a gamble. You can enter a contest and win some things.
Yes.
Tell us about the contest.
So the contest is the first time that we're doing it, and we collaborated with some other vendors. There's no shortage of amazing bridal vendors in Connecticut and New England. So if you go to our Instagram page, you'll see where you can go ahead and enter. It's Simply Gorgeous by Erin. But some of the things is, obviously you get this beautiful stuff here, rosé, champagne glasses, but the best thing is you have a book here. This is called The White Dress Destinations. This actually was just released, a collaboration of some of the most amazing vendors.
A lot of them right here in Connecticut?
A lot of them, all of them. So
All of them. Okay.
Beth Chapman, she owns The White Dress by the Shore. Candace Coppola, she's the owner of Jubilee Events. And Carla Tenick, who is a phenomenal photographer.
Awesome.
We also have Pure Skin Med Spa, gift card, The White Dress by the Shore, Polaris Lash Studio, and tons of gift cards from Simply Gorgeous by Erin as well, including microblading, which everyone's been nuts over that too, for you as well as for a friend.
Thank you so much, Erin.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And if you want to see what Erin can do for you, head to her website. It's simplygorgeousbyerin.com.